Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Discount Paranormal. Tim hanging out with Justin.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay, guys, and this week we're getting into one of the probably the most popular cryptids ever, besides
Oh,
Bigfoot.
yeah, for sure.
He is Mothman. And we're gonna, yes, this dude, I don't know, man. I'm on the fence with Mothman. The stories are super cool though, and I want it to be real. I'll just go ahead and
Yeah, I
say
mean,
that
it
now.
would be pretty cool if like a 6 foot like moth version of Jeff Goldblum's The Fly was running around.
Jeff Goldblum. He's just flying around West Virginia.
Yeah,
Oh my god, dude, looking like Jeff Goldblum with a 7 foot wingspan. That's awful. That's really scary, man. you know,
just
talking
running
about
around in like the '90s Jeff Goldblum's like style, like button down, open shirt.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes. He's just stops on the side of the road, gives you a soliloquy. No thanks. That's fucking scarier than the reality of it. All right, so Mothman gets a start in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's a pretty famous story now, I think.
yeah. I
Probably
doubt there's many people who haven't heard of him by now.
no, it's probably the most exciting thing that ever happened in West Virginia, honestly. And this was back in 1966 to 1967, so it's been a while since something exciting's happened there. And it's definitely a quiet, like your stereotypical quaint. It's like a mining town, I think. I might just be making that up, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those kind of towns. Like very,
Yeah, I
very
mean,
small.
there's a lot of mining towns in West Virginia,
Yeah,
so
that's why I just assumed that it was. So nothing super exciting happening. Definitely nothing newsworthy as far as
this is by far like the best thing that's ever happened to West Virginia.
yeah, I
Like
think I think so. God
not
almighty.
just the most exciting, but this is like
Hands down the most
finally on the
exciting.
map.
Yeah,
People know
we're
who
on the
we
map
are.
for a giant insect creature that tells the future. Solid story. It's a solid way to get on the map, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it's a pretty boring place right up until November 15th, 1966. Right. So on that day or night, that was the first reported sighting of Mothman ever. Like ever come across the wire. Who do you tell that to? And not appear immediately insane.
That's a good question because if someone walked up to me and my dude, I just saw a 6 foot moth.
Yeah.
I was like, the drugs are really good now, right now.
In the
like,
60s,
what are you
yeah.
on?
Yeah. Well, that's back
Dude,
when they
look
were doing
like
like MK Ultra stuff and they were handing out
I was about to
acid
say, like
like, literally by the
LSD,
barrels.
acid.
Yeah, like
Like,
literally by the barrels.
dude, you got better stuff than I do.
Yeah, I mean they were putting it in cars exhaust in New York City trying to like get like 7 million people tripping nuts. So that's very it's possible, I suppose, especially in the 60s. So
Yeah.
it was witnessed by two couples, right? Roger and Linda Scarberry, MRE and Steve Mallet. So they actually did call the authorities, so the police, and reported this. I guess it's the logical place to go at this time. Like, oh, we'll call the cops. Now you'll call fucking TMZ or something. You know what I mean? But then you'd call the
Yeah,
cops.
you'd be calling like a news station or something first. You wouldn't be.
Yeah, you'd be on
What the hell are
TikTok.
the cops going to
Yeah,
do against a monster?
right. So TikTok and the Chinese would know first.
Yeah,
So when they gave their accounts, they reported like a large grayish creature in a head, kind of like in your background, like the big red glowing eyes. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So that's pretty harrowing looking. You know what I mean? Right off the bat, it's pretty scary.
Well, anything with giant red eyes that are also glowing,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
never a good time.
It kind of goes back to like the shadow people episode, like
Yeah.
some of those accounts. You know what I mean? So it's a pretty common trope. You know what I mean? I think this came out like this story was definitely before the shadow people thing did. So I don't know if maybe this is what made the glowing red eyes popular and when you're telling a story like a supernatural story like that.
Well, I mean, you go back even further. There's a lot of legends
Yeah.
with the eyes are glowing red because they're demonic in nature or something like.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if a giant moth creature is from the depths of hell, but maybe. I guess that's the cool thing about these kind of stories is that like literally anything could be possible.
Yeah.
Literally
Any like
anything.
government experimentation, freak
I-
accident of
Interdimensional
yeah.
creature, I don't know, time traveler, because that seems to be a thing that you can do all the time.
Yeah,
It's just,
I
oh, they're
mean,
from the
if you
future.
throw time
Really?
travel in it, you could say whatever the fuck you want.
They're from the future. That's my favorite. So, moth creatures have developed into a highly organized society and then created a time travel device. That's the explanation.
It's Planet of the Apes, but with moths.
I don't
Yeah,
even. They didn't even
moths
create a
took
time
over the
machine
world.
in that. You know,
I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
moths took over the world and then figured out time machines.
right?
You know,
Like, yeah, they just wanted all the lights.
yeah,
That's all
all
they
of them.
wanted. Yeah, that's all they want. It's like that Aqua Teen episode. I don't want the blood. I just want the light turned back on. That's all they wanted. So glowing red eyes, right? And it was flying right next to their car. It's like a place I think they just call it the TNT area. So like in World War II, I think in that time frame, they had like a giant like plant that would, you know, make TNT. However you do that, you know what I mean? And it's just like a run of the mill kind of business. And they did that kind of stuff. And and after a while, that kind of business dried up and the plant shut down. So it's just like an abandoned place for people to go and hang out in the '60s. What else are you gonna do?
In
Can't
West
really.
Virginia.
You can't Netflix and chill in
I don't
1967.
think meth was around yet, so
They were
next
working
best
on
thing
it.
is to
They were
go to
working
an
on it.
old explosive
I think West
factory.
Virginia has the highest meth death rate in the
They
country per
do.
capita. So
I believe you're right.
yeah,
But
nice
before
little
that came
correlation there.
around, they had to let's go see if we can find some explosives.
Well, maybe that's what Mothman was warning them about. He wasn't warning them about like what we're going to talk about later. It was more about like the meth epidemic
Yeah.
that they were going to suffer. So all right, so the next day the story hit the newspapers, right? And that's when kind of the Mothman legend was born. So now it's in the ether now.
Yeah.
So what it also does too, I think, is like those kind of stories, like for instance, right? So over the next few days, more reports are coming in describing a similar creature. So when you have a story out there like that, it's gonna spiral into other people's psyches, and now they're gonna see it
Yeah.
or
Now, I mean,
something
like
similar.
if they see anything in in the slightest shape,
Mm-hmm.
a shadow,
Right,
now it's another Mothman.
right, yeah. Now it's the Mothman. Now it's not something
Before it
else.
would have been like, oh, there's somebody hiding out there or something like that. Now it's
Right.
yeah,
Or hey, did you see the size of that owl or something? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Like you would have thought it was a regular like animal or a person.
Right. Yeah. Not some
Now
sort of.
everybody's just seeing Mothman because
Right.
no one wants to be left out. Yeah,
I think that's a part of it. I think
yeah,
that's a part of it. Like you want to feel kind of special. Like, oh, I saw the Mothman too.
yeah.
And I think
Well,
UFO
there
sightings
is
are in
something
that.
about that where it's
Yeah.
like the it's almost like peer pressure. Like you don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
the one left out of the cool event that's happening or the
Right. It's
special
like that.
event.
What do they call it? FOMO, fear of missing out.
I had never heard of it put out.
FOMO. You never heard of that?
I've never heard of it put that way. I
Jesus Christ,
was like,
man.
FOMO. What the hell is FOMO?
You have a phone, right?
Yes, I do.
It's it's everywhere. People use it constantly. It's
I've
not. I didn't
never.
just make it up.
I've heard the term fear of missing out. I've
Okay, how's
never
this?
heard it.
FOMO trademark. Nobody can use it anymore. That's for us.
Every time you
So
want to use it, a quarter. You know,
that's fine.
send it my way.
We'll make a ton of money. That's fine. So one sighting in particular, the Mothman, it was given by four guys digging a grave, if you can believe that. Which, sure, why not?
Yeah,
And allegedly, they saw a creature with the glowing red eyes and a super big wingspan, larger than your average animal. Probably what you're used to seeing. if I had to guess. Like your hawks, your owls, your I don't know, turkey vultures. I don't know what they have there, but something like that.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
And it flew right over their head. Right? So that was another big story, like right after that happened. And like seeing the Mothman was not just
Now
like
that was what was that? The next city over, right?
yeah, it
That
was
wasn't Point Pleasant.
no,
What
but it
was
was in the area.
it
Yeah,
was
it was
like
in the area.
within 50 miles or something like that.
I think it was in the same zip code. So, however big a zip code is.
West
Maybe
Virginia
50
probably
miles.
only
I
has
don't
like
know.
3
I don't
zip
really know.
codes.
I don't
So
know how they do that. I mean, a zip code's only 5 digits long, and America's a pretty big place, so it's got to be a
yeah,
pretty
but
large area. But again, I'm not a civil engineer. I don't know. But seeing the Mothman, like I said, was not just haunting and terrifying, right? But there also came physical ailments if you essentially like made eye contact with it. If you locked eyes with Mothman, like you can have almost like a super bad case of pink eye. I don't think it was pink eye, but it reminds me of pink eye.
look into my eyes.
Like your
You
eyes
get
are like super,
conjunctivitis.
yeah, yeah. You have like super bad, like you're bloodshot.
Yeah.
Like you smoked all the weed. You know what I mean?
Everything.
And it's
The
like
whole
it's even
town's
like
where
bleeding into your cheeks.
yeah.
Like you're so high. It's like it's got like red veins like spiraling out into your skull. Like that's how bad it got. Yeah, it was something like that though. It's something like what is it? Conjunctivitis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. And it was a pretty recurring thing that would happen. Is that people would get it and then their eyes are on fucking fire and like, oh, like Mothman. I was that like Mothman like doo-doo particles like get into your eyeballs, causing that to happen. I guess.
He just flies over you, he's just incontinent.
Right, yeah. Yeah. He's been backed up for weeks.
Yeah.
The poor guy.
No, he didn't scare you. You scared him. That's why he shit.
Well, yeah. Well,
That's why.
Mothmen are more afraid of you than
Yeah.
than you are of them.
If you got a flashlight, he'll be your best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't carry around one of those like tennis rackets that are electrified.
Yeah. Man, if I just had my 10-inch tactical mag light right now, we'd be fine.
We'd be the best of friends right now.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine that had one of those when I was a kid. And he's like, check this out. It was one of those ones that are super long, like a foot long. He's like, look, man, look how strong this is. And he's like, it's like it's like reflecting off the stars and stuff. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, do you know how far away like that would have to be the strongest flashlight like in the universe like, to make that happen? You moron. Like, okay. I was like 12 and I knew that was like the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I'd be like, yo, you'd be at better luck. I'd be like, yo, look how it's reflecting off our neighbor's house like 5 doors down.
Yeah, not off like Alpha Centauri. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yo, come back in like 5 million years, dude, and you'll see the light come back on us.
Well, that's what the stars are. They're just people's flashlights from different galaxies.
Yeah. There's no such thing as the sun.
So stupid. That's the stupidest thing.
Anyways,
I feel bad for that guy.
now, however, Mothman he'd end up being the most popular legend that came out of the area, right? But he wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah.
The area surrounding Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's the most popular because I think that's where the Hatfields and McCoys come from too, or West Virginia, and they use those in like
they're
Looney
still
Tunes.
around.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
like I think their feud's still going.
No lie, like this is a true story. Like it's a true story that the guy told me this. I don't know if it's like true on the other side of the story, but he's like that he was from West Virginia and he grew up with those people. Like he went to school, quote unquote. Like, I don't know
if the Hatfields and McCoys are going.
I don't think this guy went to school at all.
Longer than
he was like extremely dyslexic. Yeah. Like, I don't know if he went to school, pal. You know what I mean? But he said he did. He said he knew him. I was like, oh shit. School.
Fair enough, man. Yeah. But their area surrounding Point Pleasant was rumored to be cursed. Like so long before the Mothman ever appeared on scene, there was a Native American chief known as Cornstalk. Which that's gotta I don't know if that's his real name or if that's just like European.
That's what the pale faces gave him.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
that's
That seems
that's what we gave him.
pretty on the nose.
Well,
But then again, there is one called like the Running Bull and stuff
again,
like
I
that.
don't
So
know if those are
maybe
real names either, because those are
I think
English names, like English language names
they would probably be the English translation of their name.
of like a Navajo or whatever. Or
Yeah,
yeah, it's like I feel like I know where this is heading though, and it's one of the like a trope of these kinds of stories.
yeah.
It's like, okay, okay, just get into
But
it. Let's get
fair
into
enough.
it.
But like right before he dies in the 1700s, right? He allegedly cursed the land for hundreds of years to come.
Right.
Now the area was already haunted by actually a lot of tales of ghost sightings, witches, and
Mhm.
red-eyed banshees. Which then again, there comes the red eyes
Yeah,
thing.
it feeds into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Where it is possible, like glowing red eyes gets its origins. Excuse me,
Right.
from like updated Mothman legend.
Sure. I
So
mean,
like
if
he
it's
might
been
not
around the area,
necessarily,
if it's been around the area for that long,
yeah, he might
okay.
not necessarily originally had red eyes, but then again, like there's a lot of animals out there, and there's different eye shines, different
Sure.
color eye shines.
Right. Yeah.
So
Nocturnal creatures for sure.
yeah, so like I think actually a couple of them do have red, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, there have like there's stories, and it kind of feeds into this story a little bit here in a second. Like the like UFO like abduction things also have like ties into like owl imagery for some
Really?
reason, because they have the giant fucking
Oh,
eyes, you know
okay,
what I
yeah.
mean? And I'm sure at night they look insane. You know what I mean? That looks nuts at
Yeah,
night.
like a
They
an
look
owl's
nuts in the
just
day, like, but at night I'm sure it's like super bad.
yeah, like an owl like perched in a tree.
Yeah, you're like, oh god,
Looks
what the fuck is
yeah,
that?
because it could be a branch only a couple feet off the ground. And you
It
see
does
the
this
owl with the
like
eyes,
Linda Blair impression where like turns his head completely around. Oh god,
just whips it back around.
dude,
That'd be
yeah, that's so scary. Why can they do that?
I don't know.
Why
Dude, I
do they
had a
do that?
screech owl when I first moved into my house
Yeah. What is
that
that?
screeched. It's what it does. It's a fucking screech
Oh, so it's
owl.
not just a clever name.
No,
Okay.
sitting above me and the wife, like in the tree, we're right above where we park our cars.
Hmm.
Dude, if that thing didn't scare the ever loving shit out of us
Yeah.
when it screeched like that, dude, like I was reaching, I was reaching for like a weapon. I didn't know what the
Do
hell
an
it
impression. What
was.
does that sound like?
I can't. I'm not going to either.
I don't know what it sounds like.
I
That or
think so.
owl. And
Ow, yeah.
does it say its
Ooh,
name like a Pokemon? Like owl,
ooh.
screech owl, screech
Screech
owl,
owl.
screech owl. Oh, okay.
But you know, it is possible that like I said, the red eyes updated Mothman legend, and it kind
Sure.
of partnered with these type of stories.
Yeah.
Like there's a large winged creature that also stated to exist in the area.
Right.
Like the native Shawnee tribe was also afraid of the areas surrounding Point Pleasant, and these stories were like the main reason for
Sure.
why they're because
Well,
they're
I
like
mean, you're not
the
going to go
whole
anywhere
area was
near.
considered cursed. Like that's not the
Yeah.
only creature to have shown up.
Well, I mean, you're not. You're going to be afraid of a place that's like, oh, dude, they got ghosts and witches and banshees and fucking all kinds of stuff over there.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
like
mean,
it's not
naturally,
out of
you're not going to want to go over there.
no, and like I said, the native tribes have long held suspicions about the area. Like they wouldn't
Right.
even go into the whole valley about it. Like, and it's not unreasonable to think that a lot of these older legends kind of homogenized into one creature. You know, the Mothman.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
red
mean, think
eyes,
about it that way. Yeah.
lying, kind of like disappearing and appearing, and
Well, it's got like an ethereal kind of feel to it where, it's like a physical sighting, but kind of not a physical sighting. It's very fast. Like you said, disappears. The red eyes. I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's
banshees.
stories where like he disappears into nothing. Like he just like fades away.
It's also at night,
Yeah.
most of these sightings. So it's like, I mean, you could
He
just,
does that Homer Simpson
oh,
walk into the
yeah,
bushes.
he like fades away into the bushes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
He
don't
just
know.
takes a couple steps into the brush and he's
I
gone.
don't
You
know
know,
how into pop culture Mothman is, but maybe.
he just sits down and like watches old Simpsons reruns. He's like, "Oh, I could do that. I could
Yeah,
definitely do that."
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess the Simpsons kind of like predict a lot of things, so it could be very well that they predicted Mothman disappearing that way. Very possible. So, like, kind of like going back a little bit to like not so much the owl imagery of it, but like the alien side of things.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in the around that time, to like, there's another aspect of the story where there was a ton of UFO sightings in that area around the same time. And so it wasn't just Mothman; it was also UFOs too.
Yeah, it wasn't it. They were saying like if you saw Mothman within a couple days, there'd be a UFO, or was
Um,
it the other way around?
I think it's interchangeable, honestly.
Yeah, it was either if you saw UFO, Mothman wouldn't be too far behind, or vice
Right.
versa. I can't remember which way they were saying it, but
Correct. It's something to that effect. Where it was if you saw one, then the other would happen. In between 1966 and 67, it was what they call like a flap in UFO terms.
a flap.
Yeah, it means a lot of sightings in a short amount of time.
Fair enough. Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
that means. I don't know why they call it a flap. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
Like
you
how
could just
about a
say there was
rash
a
of
lot of
sightings or
yeah, there was a lot of
a
sightings.
a plethora of sightings? I only know that word from Three Amigos. Like, would you say I have a plethora? That's the only reason I know that. But I don't think I'm not reading the dictionary. I just know that word from there. But it was kind of during that height though of the Mothman craze in that area where there was dozens and dozens and dozens of UFO sightings. And not just the sightings of the craft, but interaction with alien beings. Where it so much so that people were starting to associate Mothman as an alien.
I
Like,
mean, that's a reasonable assumption.
yeah,
I mean, like we're
okay,
seeing all these UFOs in the sky, and then this random ass creature shows up out of nowhere, and he's only ever showing up when we're seeing these spacecraft. I mean, it's pretty.
yeah,
You can see the way they connected it.
yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of people that say like alien species are insect-like. I mean, it's more like
Yeah,
mantis
like
related,
insect
you know what
and
I mean? But
lizard, like that
yeah,
kind. Yeah,
it's. I think it also kind of goes to like whatever people are afraid of. Like a lot of people are terrified of bugs. A lot of people are terrified of reptiles. It kind of creeps you out.
so the worst possible thing you could have
Right.
is an
Yeah,
alien
from another
kidnaps
planet.
you, and
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like Godzilla
like something you're
struck
afraid
down.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you're something you're afraid. Which, granted, like my biggest fear, being like an alien buff kind of guy, is, I mean, not my physique. I just mean like I know a lot about it. But this like I'm a buff alien guy,
I was just gonna
like
skip by him, like,
MUFON the
hey
reporter.
man, if you wanna, this is the buffest
I'm the
MUFON
buffest MUFON
reporter.
reporter there is. I'm gonna crack the case and their necks. But like if alien species like came down and they're in the shape of like a spider, like it or something,
Yeah,
I don't want to like aliens anymore.
no.
A
Although,
large
like
part of my life is ruined. A
the
large part.
spider aliens, yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
a
thank you.
large part of my life is over with. And it's been a complete waste.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
want
go
to deal with
ahead and peace out now, and
it.
I
Yeah.
ain't dealing with a world with spider aliens. It ain't happening.
I don't want to live in a world with regular spiders. I don't want
Let
to live in a
alone,
universe with aliens spiders. No fucking thing.
yeah,
And not just alien spiders, but ones that can develop interstellar travel.
yeah,
I don't want
like
to live in that
smart
world.
spiders. No, like I haven't hard enough time with the dumb ones. I don't need
Yeah.
like
I don't
hyper
need
intelligent.
yeah, like
Like
some
they
sort
look
of
at
like
me and just like start thinking about how they're gonna cook me. Yeah,
well, they don't even do that. They just cocoon you in a web.
yeah, even worse.
Yeah, that is worse. Oh God. Ah.
I'd
That's
rather be
that's like
cooked.
it's sending chills
I
down my
feel like it's
spine
a
straight
dead.
to my like where I have to take like a nervous poop. You know what I mean? Like I got nervous for a second.
Like I feel like being cooked is a quicker death.
I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that. Much rather that happen to me than get attacked by hyper intelligent interdimensional space alien spiders. Ah, dude,
Yes. Horrifying.
Jesus. All right, I don't want to linger on that anymore. I want to move on. So, due to the large amount of UFO reports in the area, though, it was starting to like attract UFO investigators. Because right? Why wouldn't it? You're
I
gonna
mean, it's
go
reasonable.
right, go to where they are. Right. So if you go to like, oh, there was one report. Okay, you go, you get the eyewitness testimony or whatever. If they have maybe photo evidence or something, But when there's dozens of them, you're like,
Like a
okay,
whole town is seeing this thing.
correct, we're exactly right. And some of the investigators were pretty popular at that time. One, Gray Barker was another, and another was John Keel. And John Keel's pretty famous in this area. Yeah, he was already kind of famous in the UFO community at that
Yeah,
time.
wasn't he like already kind of known in the town for like
Uh,
this kind of stuff?
no, I think he showed
Or
up for the
yeah,
UFOs, but he stayed for the Mothman. You know, I think they have a T-shirt that says that too. Like, come for the UFOs, stay for the Mothman. Yeah, and their hospitality, something like that. I mean, it was a convenient offshoot into what he was looking into. He's like, I'm here for the UFOs. Oh, what is this other crazy stuff that people are talking about? Let me get in on that too while I'm here.
yeah, fair enough.
Admittedly, so like, why not? Like, if you're into UFOs, there's 100% chance you're into other paranormal stuff too. I don't think
Well,
I've ever met one
and
person that's like, I'm into aliens, but I don't give a shit about ghosts or
yeah,
other
like you're kind
spectral
of open to
beings.
a bunch of it.
Right? Yeah, you're in for the
Well, plus
for
too,
the whole
like
thing. You're in for the ride.
if you're there for the UFOs and you're hearing these stories about Mothman, quickly you're going to connect the two, and then you're thinking, oh shit, Mothman's an alien.
Yep.
I wonder if I can get close to him or capture him or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
It would make only sense. It makes sense that he'd want to
Well, capture him
stick
how?
around
Like capture him on camera, or like throw
or
like a big
capture him with
like a
like
big
a
net.
Scooby Doo net.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like a big like bug catcher net.
get a whole bunch of hijinks going, get him chasing you.
Yeah, put like soap on the floor so he slips.
Yeah,
Makes that whoop, 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 whoop sound where he can't run. Hmm. Okay, go on. Is that the end of the plot?
yeah, it is.
End of the
Just
plan.
get him to chase you, then like you have a piano attached to one side of the rope,
Yeah,
and
it has like a counterweight. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like one of those ones you
But
like
like
dig a
he's
hole in the
super
ground and you
smart.
put like leaves on it so like nobody can
Yeah,
see.
yeah. He's like super smart when
Well, he's got wings,
he's
so
not
that wouldn't
around
work.
you.
Right.
But then when he's chasing you, he's Home Alone style, run into
And then
every
you
one
try
of
to
your
like
things.
reveal like, oh, it's like old man Jenkins has been the Mothman the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, so John Keel shows up. So he's working alongside like local news reporters too. Their name is Mary Hyre, or Hyre, Hyre, however you say that, who kept track of all the sightings and from the local folks. Which sounds like she was waiting for somebody kind of big in the area, like
Well,
UFO area,
I know she
especially to
kind of
come
made it
along.
like her mission to
Right,
like keep up with it too.
right, yeah. I think waiting for a bigger name to come in, and it's like, oh, I was working with this guy.
Yeah,
Like
keep
here's
all the
everything.
records. Here's everything I got. Or
Right,
something.
right. And Keel specifically took the matter seriously. He's a UFO investigator, so sure, they're gonna take him
Yeah, I mean, you
seriously. Is
can't
what you do.
take it. Yeah, you can't be walking around like, oh, these people are a bunch of clowns. You know what I mean? Like,
I
you
mean, they might
gotta,
be. They might
yeah,
be.
but
You never
like, no
know.
one's gonna take you seriously and talk to you about it. If that's your attitude towards it.
Right, yeah, if you're gonna be like hyper passive aggressive about it. Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sure you did, pal.
yeah,
Ooh. Oh, what was that? A giant moth creature? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll write that
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm writing down right now. Yeah.
Right. I mean, Mary was there helping him out too, the local person. You need a local person. I think a trust issue kind of thing at that point.
Yeah, because
But
a lot of like small towns like that, they don't want to talk to outsiders.
sure, which
Yeah,
granted, I get that. I mean,
yeah,
I would be
you
a little
don't.
skeptical too. Are you going to get made fun of? Are you going to get made to look
Well, that's
ridiculous?
part of it too. Is like local people might believe you because they know,
They know you,
they know if you're trustworthy or not.
right?
An outsider might just, you don't want to be made fun of.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Here's Keel though talking about his own UFO experiences.
I began to see them myself. It was beyond imagination. They were extremely bright lights, which could hover. If you flashed a flashlight at them, they'd respond, they'd flash back. I saw a lot of these lights. In fact, I saw so many of them, I lost count.
So many that he lost count.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Like, especially he's like, yeah, if I flashed the flashlight at them, they'd respond back to me.
yeah, that's pretty neat. I mean,
It's more credence to the Mothman being a alien.
yeah. I mean, it's not shining it
Yeah.
off a star, but
No,
something. You know, he
the
must not have had
the
that same
Mothman
flashlight
speech
that
is
kid I knew
moonlight.
did.
Yeah,
It only reached spaceships.
yeah.
So
It wasn't nearly as powerful as
no,
this.
it wasn't. Yeah, no, it wasn't. About 8 years after the Mothman story began, though, he released a book called The Mothman Prophecies, um, which later in January of 2002 was released a feature film starring one Mr. Richard Gere and Laura Linney. If you know who Laura Linney is, she's been in a ton of stuff. Truman Show is the only thing I can think of at the time. It was like his fake wife or whatever.
Oh, was that Laura Linney?
That's Laura Linney, yeah.
I knew the name. I couldn't place a face to her though.
Yeah, I'm sure she's been in like a million things, but
sure.
I can't think of anything else. And it kind of did what it was supposed to do. It told the story of Mothman and Point Pleasant, but there's a lot of changes to the story. It was kind of more of just like the framework of it, because it took place in the 2000, in like 2002, the year of the movie.
Yeah,
it wasn't in the 60s or the 70s. He was like a reporter for, I think, like the Washington Post or something like that, and he all of a sudden drove like 400 miles in like 2 hours or something, and you just wound up in Point Pleasant and met like a crazy guy, and it was the whole thing. The whole thing was happening, and then they had that scene where he called himself Ingrid Cold.
Yeah, that's actually a really
Or
big
Indrid
name in
Code.
like
Indrid, yeah.
Ingrid. Yeah,
Indrid or Ingrid Gold, yeah.
That's like a big name in like UFO
Like the black
circles.
Men in Black.
You think so?
Is that more Men in Black related, I think? Yeah.
But yeah,
So
but Ingrid Cole was supposed to be like,
that's
was
a
he
super
like
scary
working
name.
with them or something?
Yeah, it's something
I can't
like
remember
that.
exactly what he was doing, but yeah, he was like a big name.
That's a scary name to have.
Yeah.
Somebody calling you. And like in the movie, they had a pretty cool scene where like he was testing his powers or whatever, and he was like pulling stuff out of his pockets and like hold it in his hand. And he would do like that stick. You know what I mean? It was like really ethereal sounding and very creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, the movie was met with mixed reviews, but it's got a little bit of a following after the movie came out. I personally
just
liked
think
it.
about any movie that has a cryptid in it.
Yeah, they tried to make it.
They're pretty much all straight to DVD quality, sci-fi channel quality. So
yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's pretty long, but I do enjoy it. Check it out, or don't. It's from 2002. I don't think they're expecting a whole lot more residuals from that movie.
No, I highly doubt it. All right, so like coming back to the actual creature itself, right? There are actually like a lot more weirder accounts of the Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, besides him being able to keep up with cars driving at 100 miles plus.
It's pretty fast.
That's actually like the I think the Scarberries and the Mallets.
Yeah,
were the ones who said that, like they were running from them.
Yeah,
they're trying to get away.
Speeds.
Yeah, down like country roads. Yeah,
yeah.
I doubt there's a whole lot of straightaways.
I think we're hammering that Point Pleasant as being like bumfuck Egypt, but I don't think that it is, but for the purpose of the
But
story,
it's like it's in like a valley surrounded by mountains, so I can't imagine there's a whole lot of straight roads and
all right,
stuff like that. You know,
right,
the creature was quickly becoming an omen, right, of misfortune.
right,
It usually precludes like some sort of tragedy coming up, and of course, this does actually happen. Unfortunately, there's on December 15th in 1967, the rumor would prove to be true that he was a omen, right?
right.
Because on this day that the Silver Bridge collapsed and up to 70 cars were plunged into the Ohio River.
Right.
So you don't really hear about that. Like bridges don't collapse all that often.
I think it's happening more recently, but
Well, only recent, but I mean, we're talking this is back in the 60s.
yeah,
Recently is because they've had no maintenance done on them since the 40s.
right. Yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
just
The bridge
nothing
was probably
happening.
relatively newish as far as bridges go.
Well, up to 46 people actually lost their lives, and 9 more were injured during
Wait,
this.
right,
A lot of people even saw this happen too. It was
right.
like a lot of people were out like Christmas shopping,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yep,
Imagine being the person who's next in line to get on the bridge. And that
dude.
fucker collapses.
Yeah. Or you're the one that just got off of it.
Yeah, like
Oh man.
that's an insane. Like especially getting off of it.
Yeah,
Like I got to imagine a little bit of like survivor's guilt is happening on that part.
yeah, dude. I don't know how you'd feel, man. Good
Or you'd be
lord.
like elated.
Oh
You'd be like,
yeah.
this is the best day of my life.
Oh yeah.
Like, as soon as I get off,
You're protected by God Himself, man.
yeah,
Hmm.
the bridge was actually said to have collapsed. Like I said, during the holiday rush hour traffic.
Sure.
Right, so this is when everybody in the whole town was out shopping and everything else.
Right.
And the bridge was actually it could not support the weight. So
Sure.
it wasn't when it was built. I doubt very highly it was built to have semis and
Right.
trucks and all these
70s
other
plus cars. Yeah. I mean, that's
yeah,
pretty heavy.
and it was probably only built back when,
Like the Model T.
not everybody, yeah,
Yeah.
probably after that, but not when everybody didn't have a car. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the cars back then were made of like 100% steel.
Yeah, so they were way heavier.
It wasn't carbon
on top of
fiber like it is now.
that. Yeah, which is why a lot of the older ones are actually still around.
Yeah.
'Cause they're
Oh yeah.
just better quality made,
Yeah.
honestly. Now, we want to show I'm actually going to show a clip here
Yeah.
that shows like the aftermath of the bridge.
Right. Right.
It's like pretty gnarly, to be honest.
Yeah. So there's no audio on it, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
like twisted metal, and like now we're looking at like just it looks
What's
like
left.
concrete
Like,
walls that used to hold the bridge up. Is just
there's 2
standing.
bridges, and one of them's just completely in the water.
Yeah, and it's brutal, man. Like it's,
Like a war happened.
right.
Like how it like the debris of the
Yeah, it kind of
Right.
reminds me of like scenes from like Hiroshima or something where they just wiped it out and only like the skeleton of it was remaining.
yeah.
You know, like it's pretty gnarly looking. It's pretty gnarly looking, and you can just tell. Like, I mean, there was nothing left of that
No,
bridge.
it's not like the road part of it fell. No, the whole damn thing.
The
just
whole
fell.
thing fell in. Yeah, like the whole freaking thing fell in, and on either side, it was just like twisted parts of the bridge.
Yeah, that's a hell of a disaster for a
Mhm.
town that was never really that big to begin with.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a decent sized town, but like losing almost 80 people in one accident, that's pretty rough.
yeah. That is, yeah, that's devastating to a town like that. To any town, but especially a small one.
Because that with that many people going, there's not probably one family who wasn't affected by that.
Right.
Either it was a relative or it was a friend or something like that.
Right.
Because due to like at the time though, there was recent reports of Mothman and his sightings were linked to the foreshadowing of tragedies. Like I've been saying, he's an omen.
Sure.
Where he showed up on the bridge.
Yeah.
Like somebody saw him like perched up on one of the points.
Sure.
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Wherever
it was
Spider-Man
only,
would
like-
land.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
It was only like what? I think it was like a week or two
yeah. It wasn't very long.
after he was seen on it that it collapsed. So
Yeah,
then
but
again,
it's a
they're
shitty. He's a shitty like what's the word? I don't even know what to call it. Like he's prophesizing that it's gonna collapse, but he's not like telling anybody. He's just like scaring the shit out of the populace. Like then just tell us
well,
that.
like an ill omen wouldn't necessarily tell you, hey, this is what's happening. It's just like,
Yeah, but if
hey,
he's showing up specifically to like warn people of something happening, he's doing a terrible job.
yeah, he is. He's not flapping his wings,
No, he's not like
calling or
standing in front
whatever
of
the
the bridge,
hell,
like, don't I can come on the bridge. Like, don't do it.
putting
Yeah,
up
he's not
barricades.
yeah, he's not like
no.
helping anybody, not doing anything. He's not putting up like traffic cones,
But
whatever.
then again, he might not have been showing up to avoid the tragedy.
He's just there to watch it.
Like he's just showing up, be like, "There's going to be one." You know what I mean?
I don't get oh okay. I mean,
Well,
I guess
like in terms
it
of
doesn't no matter what we
like,
do, it doesn't really make any sense.
no, yeah, like the way I was saying was that like he's showing up, stating that there's going to be something happening, but he's not going to be trying to warn you of it.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It doesn't.
Fair enough.
It does because there's a way to rationalize it because he didn't tell anybody about it. He didn't try to stop it. If he's there, it's just like, okay, something is gonna happen, but you don't know what that something is. So you just
Yeah.
avoid everything. Like it's not helpful
Well, I
at
mean,
all.
even at the time, even if people saw him on
Right.
there, how many times have you crossed that bridge in your life
Right.
before he landed on there?
But you wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think, oh, okay, that means the bridge is going to collapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it probably never would have if there wasn't 70 cars parked on it. Yeah, I mean, like if it was just through
think
traffic.
Over time, it probably would have.
Well, yeah, but in terms of like, if all it was is just cars going over it
You're right.
and not parked on it, where all that weight is sitting down,
All right.
it probably would have collapsed much later, and not just
Yeah.
right then when it happened.
I think that's fair to say. It's fair to say.
Yeah, but as we've heard before, though, there are like always more aspects to just seeing this creature in UFOs, and that's the Men in Black.
Oh, they show up. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
That's right.
They actually show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
never.
they
a
don't
good
do
time.
anything.
I mean, like
they're there.
you see a creature with red glowing eyes terrorizing your community. You're seeing all these UFOs, and then the fucking Men in Black show up.
Yeah.
That's a pretty rough year. Because remember, this only happened in like the span of a couple months too. I think.
Yeah.
I don't even know what was like a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. Yeah, it was like about a year.
Like
and
a lot
change,
of this stuff is happening quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
During time and a little bit after.
Yeah, you just
all
got
this
a bunch
was
of
going
fucking
down.
dudes like Tommy Lee Jones is walking around
Yeah.
grilling you about UFOs and bug creatures.
Will Smith's walk around slapping people.
He's browbeating everybody.
But during this time, during the time where he's at his peak of being sighted, and even afterwards, reports of the Men in Black starting to show up in Point Pleasant. And
Right.
they're threatening residents, they're threatening witnesses, and
Right.
it's even theorized that the Men in Black are responsible for the bridge collapse,
Right.
and not just Mothman predicting it.
And that
So
is
it's kind
a
of like
very thin
yeah.
theory.
I mean, I kind of see it as like them trying to be like, this is what's going to happen. You keep burning this up, like
We're gonna
we could
collapse
do
your bridge.
this. Yeah, like we could do this. What else do you think we could do?
Right. Yeah.
In
Okay.
because it's encounters with the Men in Black are never pleasant experience.
No, they're never good.
like
no,
they
they're never good.
often threaten, like from reports and stuff like that. Yeah, they often like threaten you, your kids, your family.
Yeah. I mean, you're run of the mill, like kind of threatening.
Yeah,
That's what the mob would do,
yeah. Well, I mean, you could just see that. You could see them as like the mob for the government. You know what I mean?
Kinda.
Hey! You keep your mouth shut. All
Hey,
right?
hey, oh,
Hey, whoa!
hey, shut up about them UFOs,
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking cabron. You stupid
Well,
cannoli.
break your kneecaps, huh? You see?
Yeah.
You know that bridge out? That was us.
Yeah, they're all from Queens. Yeah.
But after the bridge collapse, sightings of Mothman all but disappeared.
Sure. He was done.
So yeah, I mean, he did what he was here
On
for.
to the next horrible tragedy that he'll do nothing about.
Yeah, he's there to watch.
Yeah.
He likes to watch, that's his thing.
Yeah.
He gets off on it.
He's a tragedy cuck. Yeah. Yeah.
And even those, there were still sightings coming in, kind of periodically here and there.
Right. Sure.
After all, like, the strangeness had died down, the UFOs, tons of sightings, the men in black showed up.
Right.
And, like, kind of like the pain of the Silver Bridge collapse ceased.
Right.
Didn't cease, but kind of like, started to fade.
Right.
Point Pleasant had taken on the Mothman, funnily enough, as his own, like, mascot.
Sure.
Which
I mean,
is
I get it.
a little, I mean, like,
I get it.
It's kind of like Roswell with aliens.
Yep.
If it wasn't for Mothman, it wasn't for aliens, neither one of these two cities would you would
never hear of them.
they are. Yeah, you never would have heard of them.
Never would have.
Roswell probably wouldn't be around right now. It's in the middle of
Well, the stupid thing didn't even happen in Roswell. It happened in Corona.
Yeah.
But Roswell just had a police station and a news station and the
Roswell
Air Force
was
base.
faster to get it set up as a
right. It sounds better than Corona.
Yeah.
It does.
But till this day, Point Pleasant has a Mothman festival, which
it's about to happen.
Yeah, like, dude, just look at your background picture.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, like
during COVID.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get Mothman to have COVID now. It wouldn't be any good. You need your cryptid to be healthy.
Yeah. I don't need him getting Omicron.
Yeah. But this happens in September.
Yep.
And this is to keep interest in the creature alive and bring in, tourism.
Oh, yeah.
Tourism.
It's not a whole lot going on there to go see.
But they get like, what was it, like 10,000 people plus?
Yeah, they get a lot. There's thousands
just
of people.
Like just for the festival.
Right.
They come from all over the country too. So
yeah,
like they even have like an absolutely terrible statue, like I'm showing, like you showing.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like it doesn't look half bad in that picture.
From the head up, it looks cool.
But like if you get like a full view of it,
right, it's not.
It's awful. Yeah.
Right.
And of course, it's in their town square.
They're balls deep in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is 100% without Mothman. They're ghost town.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and we actually do have another clip.
Yeah.
To show you like of a couple of the folks that attend the Mothman Festival.
Yeah. Just wait till you get a load of these guys.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, the festival has been canceled, and it's a pretty major bummer for me and my brother because it's like one of the highlights of the year is the Mothman Festival.
It seems like whenever you have these people, like-minded individuals together, it kind of like stirs up the paranormal, and weird stuff happens.
It feels like almost like a miracle to have it back because it's a lot of people consider the Mothman Festival to be the funnest paranormal-related event there is.
And organizers don't want to let people.
I'm talking about like the highlight of this dude's year.
Oh yeah,
is the Mothman Festival.
It's a real bummer.
And like you saw, unfortunately for anybody listening, you can't see it, but like the statue.
Oh yeah,
where like he's getting ready to like grapple somebody. Like
yeah.
WWE,
He's in like the college wrestler stance.
Yeah.
Dude, it's 10,000 of those guys.
Yeah. And then you have like the random person show up who doesn't really believe in it. But most of these people highly, I believe.
I'm sure there's several people that show up there that have no idea what's happening. You're like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
And they get the fuck out of there.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like showing up to a Comic-Con not knowing what comic books are. You're like, what is happening?
Imagine that. Like You just happen to like walk in on Comic-Con and you see a
Yeah.
bunch of people dressed up and
Like Dragon
like,
Con
what
or
the
something.
fuck is happening?
Because they do like parades and stuff too. You're like, what? Is this some sort of pride parade? What is this?
Yeah. Man, this shit's getting out of hand, bro. Like we need to they're
Like
dressing
weeb-
up like superheroes.
It's Weeb Pride Month. It's like, good lord, man.
But you know, in actuality, dude, like there are still sightings of Mothman coming in.
Yeah,
It's very frequent. I mean,
right. There was
infrequent.
even one reports 9/11.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Sure was
Yeah, that it was like a dark little figure flying around
flying
the
away.
towers or
Yep.
something, or flying away after it. I
Right.
can't remember exactly.
Yep.
But you know, it's coming in from different parts of the world, so maybe he got tired of Point
Yeah,
Pleasant. He
he's not
started to
he's
branch
not
out.
just American.
No, he well, he started hitting his middle ages. He middle
wanted
age.
to
He was like,
travel.
man, I
Yeah.
ain't seen the world yet.
Yeah, cashed out his 401.
Yeah, quit his job, left his wife.
Yeah, at his Mothman job, desk job.
Like there's even actually a sighting in Chernobyl, like right before the reactors exploded and the area was polluted with radiation.
Yeah, you can't trust a
So,
Russian.
No, you can't trust them at all.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, like, so he's definitely embedded in as an ill omen now.
Yeah, he's part of that lexicon now. So if you see him, it's like, shit.
Something major is gonna happen.
Yeah, don't go on any bridges. Whatever you do.
Don't go near any tall buildings. Don't go near any reactors.
Yeah,
Well, I
don't
wouldn't
go
go near
near.
a fucking
I mean,
reactor. to
I
begin
think
with.
like a good rule of thumb is to stay away from nuclear reactors at all costs.
Yeah,
That's a good
if at
rule.
all
That's like a good
possible.
rule for life. To
Yeah.
stay away from them.
If at all
In
possible,
general.
just stay away from them.
Yeah. Mothman or no Mothman, just stay away from them. They get fish with 3 eyes. That's the kind of stuff that happens. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Like this poor guy. He's trying to help people, and they're like, "Oh, God, something terrible is going to happen."
Yeah, he's just like, I'm trying to warn you, but I don't speak your language.
Yeah, I don't speak English.
Or
maybe
Russian.
he's Russian. Yeah, maybe he's Russian. See, and then we're going to think he's a spy.
Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to help you. The men in black are trying to take your damn.
Shut up, you commie.
Yeah. Little pinko commie.
Better dead than red, pal. All right, that's Mothman, everybody. I'm tired of talking about Mothman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us as always. We love you, and we're going to catch you next time.
Yeah. No, don't forget.
Oh, God.
Check us out on YouTube, Spotify.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, everywhere. We're everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts.
You can reach us at Discount Paranormal.
Yep. Podcast at Gmail.
At podcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere and nowhere.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
we're somewhere. Don't you worry.
Wherever we are, that's where
we
you'll
are.
find us. All right. Goodbye.